Hello and welcome to another episode of React to Watchmojo, and today I'll be checking out the top 10 posthumous albums. Now, if you don't know what the word posthumous means, and you're just wondering what it means, or if you didn't Google it before, it basically means an album, in this case, released after the artist's death. So, you know, you can expect, for example, Janis Joplin. I can't remember if Jeff Buckley's album was released after his death, I cannot remember, but there have been a few. Well, obviously more than 10, so we'll definitely see what will come up. So let's get into it. Oh, of course, Nirvana.
Their candles may have burned out, but they weren't ready to fade away.
Come with me, Hail Mary, run quick, see what do we have here.
Welcome to Watchmojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 posthumous albums. For this list, we're only looking at albums that were released after the artist or a member of the band that created
I see, so it's also a member of the band, it doesn't necessarily have to be a solo artist, that's fine.
them passed away. Most of this material must be previously unreleased, so we're excluding compilations and live albums.
Okay.
Number 10, Made in Heaven, Queen.
It's winter fall. I think I'm going to be reviewing this in the future, so let's have a listen to what the music is like.
Red skies are gleaming.
Sounds
While
good.
dying of AIDS, Freddie Mercury tried to make the best of his remaining health by recording as many vocals as he possibly could with Queen.
That's a real man, you know, that's a real man right there. You're dying of AIDS, dying of an illness that is literally sucking all of your life force, energy out of you. To the point where you can't even walk sometimes. And there he is, recording vocal tracks, and you know what Mercury's like with his vocals. He's so powerful as a singer. And you get Nancy boys like pissing Bieber, who has to cancel a concert because he has a cold. You know, just not real men anymore. Fucking hell. And then you get Mercury, who was a real man, dies of AIDS, unfortunately. Really unfortunate, tragically. And there he is, still continuously recording vocals. I mean, how was it? The Show Must Go On, I think, is the one where he was really like drunk or something like that, and he did it all in one take. Was it that song? I think it was. And either way, that's a magnificent achievement.
Mama, please, let me back inside.
After his passing, the remaining members used these demos to complete multiple tracks and combined them with previously recorded Mercury material, to which they added the Queen stamp.
The pain will make you crazy. You're the victim of your crime. Too much love will kill you every time.
The resulting album, Made in Heaven, was a global smash and included Mercury's last vocal recordings on Mother Love.
I want too long in this lonely lane. I've had enough of this same old game.
There are people who can't even sing like that in full health, let alone dying from AIDS. I haven't got a clue how he did it, but there we are. Outstanding singer and easily one of the greatest of all time. Yeah, but that sounded good actually, that album. It sounds a lot like Innuendo, which was in itself a fantastic album, so I've got high hopes for it. Elliott
Number
Smith,
9,
this is.
From
Yeah.
a Basement on the Hill, Elliott Smith.
Surprisingly, I enjoyed Either Or. That was a great album.
Was a main attraction. Dominoes falling in a chain reaction.
By the time of his death, the indie musician had already recorded heaps of new material.
The judges on vinyl, decisions on final, and nobody gets a reprieve.
Unfortunately, few tracks could be considered completed products. Despite this, Elliott Smith's family wanted the world to hear what he'd come up with.
I can't prepare for death anymore than I already have.
producer and an ex-girlfriend, collected 15 tunes, opting to leave them unfinished and mixing only what had been recorded. The final album may not have been what Smith intended, but it did become his highest charting album ever, reaching number 19 on the Billboard 200.
That's impressive. Doesn't sound bad at all. I know it's not technically a finished album, but that sounded pretty good, to be honest. Sublime.
Number 8. Sublime, Sublime.
I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball.
Sublime's third effort was supposed to come out under another name, but ended up being self-titled after frontman Bradley Nowell died of a drug overdose before its street date.
Well, life is so love the one you got, 'cause you might get run over or you might get shot.
Sublime became the band's first major label release and their mainstream breakthrough.
Love is what I got. I said, remember,
Though the success was obviously bittersweet.
it's what I got. Remember that.
The staple of 90s alt-rock has sold over 6 million copies, thanks to the fact that multiple singles charted within the Hot Modern Rock Tracks top 5.
The two banners are leaking like a sieve, and it still ruins a big up and never one kill.
Don't like it, to be honest. Not a fan of the song, the sound, the vocals. Blech. So, yeah, not a fan of that one. Unfortunately, well, it's obviously sad. Whoever dies, I mean. So it's not like I'm dismissing his death or his career or anything. I just don't like it, and that's about it. That's about all I can say. But yeah, unfortunately, we have the first disappointing entry on the list. Number 7.
Number 7. Milk and Honey, John Lennon and Yoko Ono.
Well, I am a bit dubious on Lennon's solo careers. Let's have a listen.
As the follow-up to Double Fantasy, the last album released while John Lennon was still alive, Milk and Honey was put on the back burner after the former Beatle was assassinated.
I'm stepping out. I'm stepping out.
The collaborative effort
It
was
actually does not sound bad at all. There's a reason for this, and it doesn't sound annoying and preachy because he's not actually singing about lyrics of how great he is and how much of a role model he should be to everyone's lives. He's actually singing about normal stuff. So, yeah, great. Come on.
eventually released more than 3 years after his death, as it took Yoko Ono that long to return to the project.
Baby's sleeping, the cats have all been left.
While she contributed mainly new and more slickly produced tracks, she left Lennon's work mostly untouched and raw.
Nobody told me there'd be days like these.
Oh, yeah, I think I've heard this song. That was a good song, actually.
Strange days indeed.
The album went on to chart within the Billboard 200's top 20.
Yeah, sounded good, actually. What is this?
Number 6, Dreaming of You, Selena.
I could lose my heart
Don't know who she is.
if you don't turn and walk away.
Intended as her English language crossover, Dreaming of You only had 5 songs in the can before Selena met her untimely demise.
How did she die?
Her murder by the ex-president of her fan club prompted label execs to package these new tracks with some older material and previously unreleased Spanish songs.
I'll be dreaming of you tonight till tomorrow.
The effort made history when it entered the Billboard charts at number 1, as Selena became the
Wow.
first solo act to achieve this feat posthumously.
Dreaming about
Well, good on her. Safe to say I don't like the music or the vocals, but nevertheless you can't take away the fact that she's the first person ever to get number 1 on the US 200, US Billboard 200 after her death. You know, can't take that away from it. Yeah, I don't like it, but still, that's a pretty cool achievement. Fortunately, she didn't experience the achievement, but anyway.
Number 5, American 5, 100 Highways, Johnny Cash.
You can run.
Thing is, I would say Frank Zappa should be on here, but he's got over 40 posthumous albums. How can you list one of them? I mean, I haven't even heard any of his posthumous albums, so I can't comment on any of them, but he should be on here somewhere, you know, even if it's in the honourable mention.
For a long time. Run on for a long time.
Fortunately for us, the Man in Black had recorded approximately 50 new tracks prior to his death in 2003. 12 of those songs became American 5, 100 Highways, which was also his 93rd record overall. Consisting mainly of covers, it includes songs by Ian Tyson.
I'm sorry, what? 93rd? Is that what?
Strong winds that blow low, 7 seas that run high.
And Gordon Lightfoot.
If you could read my mind, love, what a tale my thoughts could tell.
As well as a stripped-down version of God's Gonna Cut You Down.
Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down.
After topping both the pop and country charts, it became Johnny Cash's first #1 effort since 1969.
Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell him that God's gonna cut you down. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down.
Number 4, the Daunt Illuminati, the 7-Day Theory, Machiavelli.
Machiavelli.
Using the alias Machiavelli, Tupac Shakur completed his
Tupac, alright.
5th album a few months before he was fatally shot in September of 1996.
We might fight amongst each other, but I promise you this, we'll burn this bitch down, get us pissed to live and die in LA.
Following producer Suge Knight's rush release of the effort that November, the 7-Day Theory went on to sell more than 500,000 units in its first week, and it eventually topped the Billboard charts.
Me and you moving in the nude, do it in the living room, sweating up the sheets, it's the love in me.
A considerably darker effort than his earlier work. The record's lyrics have Pac dissing other rappers like Nas, Jay-Z, Puff Daddy, and the Notorious B.I.G.
Come with me, Hail Mary, one quick see. What do we have here now? On the ride it down. La, 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 la. So everybody in the house.
Yeah, needless to say, I don't like Tupac, and needless to say, I don't like this next entry either.
Round of applause for the Notorious B.I.G. The Notorious B.I.G., ladies and gentlemen.
Number 3,
Fucking voice irritates the shit out of me.
Life After Death, the Notorious B.I.G.
I've never been as broke as me. I like that. When I was young, I had 2 pair of leaves.
Following a delay of a couple of months, Life After Death ultimately dropped 2 weeks after Biggie was murdered in a drive-by shooting. In addition to critical acclaim, the album sold 10 million units and topped both the Billboard 200 and the top R&B hip-hop albums chart. Meanwhile, Hypnotize and Mo Money Mo Problems made him the first artist to score 2 posthumous #1 hits.
Throw your rollies in the sky, waving side to side, and keep your hands high while I give your girl an eye. Play it please, lyrically, you can see B.I.G. be flossing, jig on the cover of Fortune, 500.
Number 2, Pearl, Janis Joplin.
Oh, look.
Yeah, this is... I think, I forgot number 10 line, but I think this is probably the best album on the list so far. It was a surprisingly, I wasn't a huge fan of her voice before I heard it, but surprisingly it was a superb album and I highly recommend it. I mean, for a woman, she had balls, and I don't mean literally.
Lord,
but,
won't you buy me a Mercy?
ironically, this is the worst song on the album and I don't understand why they played it, Mercedes-Benz.
Mercedes-Benz, my friends.
It was her on-again, off-again relationship with alcohol and hard drugs that eventually led to Janis Joplin's fatal overdose in 1970.
No.
This is why you don't start drugs in the first fucking place. how many people have died? How many more people have to die for people to realise taking drugs is a bad idea? Whether it's, you know, some of the lighter stuff, or if it's going into the, you know, like cocaine and God knows what, you know, concoctions they're thinking up now. You know, I really don't understand the logic behind people who think it's a good idea or trying to cope. There's countless other things you could go down to cope with something, you know. Don't have to do that. And I'm on about also prescription drugs as well. The amount of side effects on those fuckers, unbelievable.
Help from my friends. So, oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz?
And when this occurred, she was in the midst of recording sessions for her second solo album. Luckily, enough material was captured to fashion an album out of this fusion of blues, country, and funk rock.
And I said, baby, don't you realize you're looking for your life over there, honey? You know where your life is? Your life's waiting like a goddamn fool right here.
Pearl landed atop the Billboard charts for 9 weeks.
You can talk to your mama now.
The album is also known for including her only #1 single, a cover of Chris Christopherson's Me and Bobby McGee.
You know,
Superb song.
it was good enough for me. Good enough for me and my Bobby, yeah.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
I know it.
Sketches for My Sweetheart the Drunk, Jeff Buckley, 1998.
Everybody here wants you. I never knew.
Genius Loves Company, Ray Charles, 2004.
The art of making love.
20,000
Grievous Angel by Graham Parsons.
roads I went down, 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 and they all led me straight back home to you.
#1, Closer, Joy Division.
Didn't even think of Joy Division, to be honest. I didn't even know it was a posthumous album, so, you know, hardly my fault to not think of them, but there we are. Anyway, I will be reviewing both of their albums, so let's have a listen to how this one sounds. I've heard quite a lot of the songs, I think, from Unknown Pleasures, but not a lot from this album, so let's have a listen. Sounds
Released
good.
2 months after the suicide of frontman Ian Curtis, Joy Division's sophomore outing is considered by many to be the group's finest hour. Produced by Martin Hannett at Pink Floyd's Britannia Row studio, Closer is chock full of hypnotic drum beats, hooky bass lines, and Curtis's own Doom meets Gloom vocals.
You see the horizontal faraway place. Meet the architects of both ace and base.
The album also sets the template for what would become Gothic rock, and paved the way for the remaining band members to regroup and form New Order.
Close. You piece of shit. Don't play New Order. Keep on playing Joy Division. Fuck's sake. What a tribute to Ian Curtis.
Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite posthumous album? For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to Watchmojo.com.
And there we are. Not a particularly impressive or enjoyable list, I don't think, overall. Michael Jackson with Escape. Tommy Lee said, if it was up to me, Sublime would be #2 and I'd keep Joy Division at #1. Well, obviously it's all about opinions, but I personally would disagree, simply because I don't like Sublime. And Joy Division, I can't think of anything else. I haven't heard it. It probably would get a higher rating than the Janis Joplin one, but I can't be sure. Jimi Hendrix, another one. Endless River, because it focuses on Rick Wright's skills. Interesting. How about Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold? I suppose they, you know, they could have been contenders. Anything else? No. No, okay. Okay, oh, there we are then. So next episode, I will be reacting to the top 10 music videos based on movies. So that should be an interesting one. Yeah, looking forward to that, in fact. Hopefully it's going to be a much more enjoyable list than this, simply because, the majority of the albums and the acts I wasn't even a fan of, and the best one being, or the best two being Joy Division and Janis Joplin. I can't remember number 10. Oh, John Lennon as well. That was good. I enjoyed that one as well. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy this list. Please give it a like. Not the list, but the video. Please give a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and request any album, DVD, Watchmojo website me to check out. Like I said, the top 10 music videos based on movies, or over here in Britain they're called films. You know, it doesn't really matter, but anyway. And until then, thank you very much for watching. God bless, stay safe, have a nice day, and thanks for taking the time out to watch this video. Thank you, and as always, goodbye.